What's going on, y'all? If you're wondering why I'm in the 99 Camaro at home, it's because I forgot to make an intro for this video. So, we'll make one right now. In this video, we're going to be going to my grandma's to get that 5.3 and that TH400 stabbed in that 88 Firebird. So, I think we had some issues there. Definitely had some issues. Flywheel issues, but we got them figured out, which is good information for anybody trying to LS swap something. As far as 5.3 6-liter goes. So, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Let's get to the video. I'm an idiot. Kind of, not really, because I don't really know. But anyway, I was going to put this, flywheel. I don't know if you can see. So, there's no way that this bolt is going to reach that mounting location. So when you're putting these TH400s and these TH350s in these, they sell a spacer for it. So I bought one, but it just totally slipped my mind. I have to see if that spaces out the flywheel, or if I can, because I have a 6-liter flywheel for this, because the 6-liter flywheels come with like a spacer in it if it was to a 4L80E, which I have. So I don't know if I use that or if I use that adapter I bought. I'm pretty sure that adapter just goes in between the crank and the torque converter, so the torque converter will sit in the crank like it's supposed to. It kind of extends that snout on the crank so that it cups that actual torque converter, because there's a little snout on the front of the actual torque converter that slides into. So I messed up. I went too fast on doing this. So I gotta try to, well, what I am gonna do here is put the jack under this trans, and then I'm gonna set this down, adjust the chain, and I have to pull the trans back off because I either need that flywheel or I need the spacer, or I need both. So I got to do some research, but first I'm going to just get the trans off because it's not going to work like this. Alright, so I got to try to get this jack under here. I spilled all this tranny fluid, which is just grand. It's wonderful. Let's see what we can do here. Might have to jack the motor up a little bit to kind of get this thing up in the air. Then I could like lean the trans forward and slide the jack under there possibly. Like that. Yeah, we're gonna have to make a mess here, dude, which is unfortunate. Something like that. There we go. Alright. Should be able to hold that. Hopefully. We'll bring the jack down. Oh boy, are we caught on the exhaust manifold? Yes. This chain's just in a perfect spot now. Okay. This. Alright. Whatever. That's out of the way. So I can kind of show you what's going on here. So this snout has to like sit in here. So in a perfect world, if this was like a TH400 and this was, you know, a big block 454, you wouldn't need any spacers. This should just go right in there because those were supposed to work together. These somewhat work together, but you need to add some adapters. So I have the piece that goes here. Now see, the problem with this, and what I'm wondering, because remember, I don't know if you watched my last video, this thing says engine side, which when I had it backwards, this wouldn't spin against the crank, or like it wouldn't spin in here because it was like too concaved in. So it was, you know, rubbing the block. So I'm wondering if like that one with the actual spacer on it would work for this. Like I said, I got to do some research. I'm going to pull this guy off and maybe try to flip it. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. I'm a little confused here, but we'll figure it out. I did some research. So I figured out that that's little spacer here that they sell, like the little round one, I think is only for if you're doing a to a TH350, because, and maybe with a 5.3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for a 5.3 to a TH350. Or you can, the whole thing about this is, the problem is I'm trying to keep this torque converter just to have it for now, just to get this thing running and hopefully moving if it works. So what you would do if you're going to keep this factory torque converter is, if you buy a 6-liter flywheel with the spacer, which I have at home, so I'll show you guys here in a bit, that will work on here, but you need these 6-liter flywheel bolts, because these flywheel bolts, obviously with a spacer on here, are going to be, they're going to be too short. They're not going to, it's only going to have a little bit of a thread engagement, if any. So what I'm going to do here is, because I had a 6-liter before, previous, and I had the bolts. Now the thing is, I don't know if I have all of them. So what I'm gonna go look. I don't think I do, but because they're probably, who knows where. They may be in this little, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna go home and look. If I don't find them, I'm gonna have to order them because I have that flywheel. So what's good about this is that I have that actual flywheel. I just need to order those torque converter bolts. If I don't find them at home, unfortunately, I am not going to be able to do this today. It's not the end of the world. We'll just have to come back another day and try to do it. So I'll meet you guys at the house. All right. Well, we're back home in our garage. So this is what I'm talking about here. See how the spacer's in there? This is a 6-liter flywheel, same as ours. And I'm gonna guess that, yeah, so that's why that other flywheel, when I would set it towards the engine side, it wouldn't like, it would just rub against the actual like bolts in the block, because this spacer goes towards the engine, so that obviously won't allow it to, it pushes it off the motor. So I don't know if we still need that like little adapter piece they sell for that. I do have that. It's like a little like concave piece or whatever that goes in there, so the torque converter snout still sits in that. But I think what they were saying with the 5.3, that you just need this spacer and the actual longer bolts. So we're gonna set that on top of the trash can. And I'm going to look for these bolts, and if I find one at least, I'll show you what they kind of look like. And if not, then I'll show you once I get them. So check you here soon. I hate when I have to do this, but it makes it easier. Holy crap, you guys. Look what your boy did back in the day. that's cool because that saves me about 26 bucks. Because that's how much these are from ICT Billet. So that's good. I will pull these out and I'm going to show you the difference between a 5.3 flex plate bolt and a 6 liter with the spacer flex plate bolt. All right, so that's the difference here. The one on the right here is your 5.3 bolt, and the one on the left here is your 6 liter with the actual spacer on the flex plate. So we've got all 6 of them, which is great, and these are going to work. Because if we put this down, close to the side here, yep, it's about how much thread engagement we need. They got these little chamfered pieces on here. I don't know what for. I think maybe so they don't wiggle around, I guess. That's going to work, which is great. I got to see where I bought that flywheel from, because if I bought it from Summit, I can return it because I still have the box. So that'll save me. Oof, boy. No one got a little mashed, huh? Ah, well, we'll use it. How does that happen? Anyway, whatever. We got 6 here, so we're going to use these guys. Some of these are a little all tweaked, but they'll work. All right, good. We saved some money. All right. We got this guy bolted in. I need to torque these down, and then we're going to slide our trans back onto here. I just love doing things multiple times. So this is that actual spacer, where I don't think I'm going to need it on this because this has that actual spacer on the flywheel. This would be if you're using a 5.3. This is from that Michigan Motorsports. I'm going to say that that's the part number for it. So if you're going to use a 5.3 to a like TH350, use this. If you're going to use a 5.3 to a TH400, you can buy the 6 liter flywheel, so a 6.0 LS, so LQ4-ish, I guess, flywheel. It comes with the spacer. That should work with this. We're going to see when we put this trans back to this engine. I got to torque these down yet, so. All right, she's all bolted up. So now, if you actually look how close our flywheel is to our torque converter. So the bolts we have and everything are gonna work. So I gotta spin this thing around 6 separate times and tighten these up. All right, so dang, a little close there to that fender, eh? So I got all that tightened up. Our trans bag thingy back there is leaking, whatever. I'm gonna try to stab this thing in here. So I'm gonna set you guys up, and I'm gonna try to get this thing over here so I can get it in the car. It's really aggravating because this thing is trying to turn on me, which it is turned, but I'm just gonna try to get it up high enough, slowly bring it in there, and we'll see what happens. Sucks. Oof. I don't know if that's going to help us or ruin us. We'll see, I guess. I think we can make it over. Just have to go slow. Get this freaking tire out of here. Maybe that'll help. see, here's the problem, is this chain is just gonna be fighting against us. It's totally sideways. What do we got? Oh, you stuck on a rock? I don't know why this thing wants to go this way. We can hold this chain, slide it in there. Man, our hood's gonna be close, dude. We're gonna see what happens here, I guess. Maybe we can maybe start going down. Gee, we might have to pull the hood off this thing. I don't know. Yeah, there's no way we clear our hood unless we pull the shocks off of them, which is great. This is where you definitely want your engine while you do something else. If we pull our shocks, I know you can't see me, but if we pull our shocks, we can maybe lift this thing up even higher and put like a pole or something in here. Yeah, we need something like that. Look, we got a nice light inside the frickin' engine bay too. Let's find a pole or something here, huh? Now we can maybe start bringing her down some. Freaking sucks. We may have to pull this thing back out and reposition this chain, but we'll see what we can do here. Our freaking, yeah, that's right on our. Yeah, we're gonna need more of an angle. More angle of the dangle. If we had more of an angle, we may even need to put this up higher. Holy crap! All right, quit banging on the frickin' master, dude. This is like aerobics. All right, y'all, I think this might be the time where it goes in. I don't know. So now this hand should clear, maybe. There we go. Oh, nope. Okay, that's good enough. Worst case scenario, we have a 3rd gen radiator at home, an actual 3rd gen radiator. I'm standing in the, all right, now we're really past it. We gotta come this way a little bit. Sorry guys. Let's see if we're anywhere centered in it. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Our manifold hitting over there? Yes. There you go. Get that guy past there, maybe. All right, we should be able to. Oh man, it's still too far. So, that's our issue right there. We've got this thing maxed. We have no more room because the bumper's in the way of the actual jack or the hoist. I'm gonna have to figure out a plan here. Well, I surely hope this, I will be able to figure out how to get this. I've never used an iPhone for this, so we're gonna see if this works. But stuff has escalated. I took the bumper off. I took the inner bumper off. Well, I guess you say bumper cover. Inner bumper, actual bumper off. So now, we are actually gonna try and get this thing frickin' in there. You know, that's what you get. I tried to just put this thing in there with the intake on. And I was sitting there staring at it as I'm freaking, you know, trying to get this thing in there. And it's like, do I take it off now? Well, guess what? I should have taken it off. This thing's gonna have to come back out. All right, got the intake off. Let's try this again. Boy, oh boy, this thing being a fight here, man. But I think we're getting close. We're hitting this frickin' transmission dipstick, which is like literally jammed. We could level this thing out more, I don't know. This thing's just jammed in here, man. Frickin' jammed. I think we're getting close, y'all. I'm gonna bring you closer. Maybe get you up in here. Got this stick in your way. What about that? Oof, that looks a little better. Let's see what we can get going here. Yeah, we're on the cross member there. We don't want to be on that. We'll bring this, I think we have to, because the bell housing back there is actually hitting the firewall. So maybe jacking the back up a little bit more. And then in terms, just we're so close on that cross member, but maybe jacking that back up a little bit more will get it into the point of where it needs to slip in there. So I can't get this dipstick tube out. that helps. Something else out of the freaking way. The little parking, whatever it is, the gear selector things just, oh God, all in the freaking way. And I just stepped right in tranny fluid. That's awesome. I'm only doing a little at a time because I don't really know what's right and what's not. So it's just hitting on the firewall. But if somehow we get this oil pan past this freaking cross member, we can, you know, sneak it on in. Oh boy. Well, unfortunately last night, the camera died. All my batteries died. I had my phone too, and that died too. So, I ended up getting it in there. I got the bolts in the mounts. Now, I had to destroy this dipstick tube, getting this thing in there. I got tranny fluid all over the place because I had to pull this thing in and out probably 4 separate times. That's the dipstick tube. I had to destroy it and bend it down because it was banging against this firewall. You can see that these heater hoses are like messed, they kind of kinked up. It was a fight. I had to pull it back out, pull the intake off of it. I probably had this thing out of the car in and out 4 separate times. Had to pull both manifolds off. So, little tip, if you are running this 5.3 oil pump, this 5.3 oil pan on this, you're going to have to put this thing in here. Unless you have nothing on the back of here and get a really good angle on it, you're going to have to drop this LS, the engine in by itself, and then put your trans onto there because it's such a tight fit. What ended up getting this thing in there was I had to like set it down and change the location of the actual chain, and it was like probably a 1/2 inch on that lower cross member. I ended up just taking my foot and kicking it in there, and it freaking fell in. So some luck there because everything else just fought me. I'm pretty much here today to kind of go over this, clean up. I bought some oil dry. I'm going to put it on the floor and stuff. When I was putting these mounts in, I had to kind of do it very oddly and twist it and turn and pull. So I got these mounts mounted on like a certain section on these ICT mounts. And so like this side is a little bit further back than the passenger side is. So obviously you probably want those lined up. So I'm going to try to put some oil dry down. I just threw this blanket over there just to soak up some of it because it was pretty bad. And I'm going to try to just jack up, move the chain to like this side, and then just jack up this side of the engine. Pull that bolt back out, which I'm kind of nervous of doing because how much of a pain it was getting this thing in there. Pull that bolt back out, pull all those mount bolts, and then try to move it back one so it's lined up properly. It was just a pain of a night. I can't even... all you would have just been watching was me struggle and not really make any progress, and then just trying to line up these holes, these mounts. Like I said, I definitely recommend doing if you're going to put a 5.3 with the 5.3 oil pan in, do it without the trans on it. I know it's a pain getting under the car because, you know, getting the jacks up high enough and everything, but I'm just recommend that because unless you get a really good tilt on it. And I'm going to actually show you this too. So that's how far the actual 5.3 oil pan sits from the ground. And I don't know. I don't think that's like the end of the world. It's definitely higher than, I don't know, my Camaro sits pretty low. So it's got a big windage tray on it, the red Camaro. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to be going over any crazy bumps like that. So, whatever. We'll see what happens. But anyway, we're gonna get some oil dry down and then jack that side of the motor up. All right, so we got some tension on this thing. We're gonna see if we can get this bolt out of here. All right, cool. So it slid right out, which is what we really need. Because when we put this thing back in, we want it to slide right in. Correct? Correct. I think the ratchet's on the ground. This is a 13, so we're gonna have to find the 15. Get these top ones are 13s, the bottom one is a 15, so we're gonna get those 3 bolts out and then try to slide this thing back 1 notch. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can go underneath for this 15. Well, let's see what happens if we jack this up some, huh? Should realistically almost fall in the same place, right? You would hope. Just get it up a little bit so I can get this bolt out of here at least. We also got a precaution with the actual, I got the jack stand under the crankshaft, so if something goes wrong, or under the harmonic balancer. So if something goes wrong, I may only smash 1 finger. Yeah, we definitely should be able to go to these back ones. We're just gonna need some washers on one of these bolts, because right behind that is the frickin' we're gonna need a washer on this bolt, because right behind that is the actual motor itself, and I don't want it pushing into there. We can get one of these in there though. See, I don't know why these are all like this. Some of these like are good and then some aren't. I don't get it. Okay, that one goes in there good too. All right, we're kind of in the clear here. Maybe. We're not done yet, I guess. We should be able to tighten these 2 bolts up top, and then hopefully our bottom hole's lined up, eh? Okay. Now we're gonna put our bottom bolt in, possibly. If we can find the hole, you know, when you're spinning a bolt that you can barely reach and you get those couple first threads, even like a centimeter, like, oh boy, stay in there please, don't fall out. You people who do this kind of stuff, you know what the heck I'm talking about. Because it's like, is it going in? And then if it stops, you're like, oh God, I don't want to cross thread this, because if you cross thread that in the wrong spot, good luck. Okay, now we're gonna try to lower this thing down slowly and line up these holes. Might be it right there. We shall see. It needs to go down a hair, it looks like. Yeah, maybe just a hair. Little by little. Now if we bring that down a little bit, we may be able to pop that guy in. Santa? Now, you see what, you probably don't see what I can see here. I'll show you. Now you see how like, there's a lot of space in between this bolt. So, as of right now, what I think I'm gonna do, because I don't have the stuff with me, but I'm gonna put something in, I'm gonna have to put something in between here. And realistically, I would like it to be an actual spacer, because that's just too much room in between that mount and air, and just that bolt holding it there. I'm sure it'd be okay, but since we're at this point where we can easily get a chain on here and, you know, jack it up if we need to and stuff. I just would rather have a spacer in there so that when that compresses, it's kind of, you know, there's not a lot of just empty space inside there. So that'll be for another day. I just kind of came over here today to clean up this floor, get that mount fixed on the actual block side. I'll try to figure out maybe how many, I'll grab like washers and kind of see how thick they are and see if I can find a spacer, or maybe I have something at home. I think I do have something at home. I just don't know if the actual hole is big enough for that bolt. But worst case scenario, we get a bunch of washers and weld them together so that we can easily just set them in there. We'll see what happens. All right, a lot better now. Actually walk on the floor without gooping up our shoes. We actually look like maybe we know what we're doing here. I think, kind of sat here and pondered a little bit. I think what I'm going to do to end this video is get the actual transmission jack or the transmission mount in, which sucks because there's a lot of tranny fluid under here. So I think what I'm going to try to do, I don't know, maybe I can wrap a ratchet strap around it or something. I don't know yet, because obviously nobody wants to lay in tranny fluid. Maybe I'll just try to throw some of that floor dry under there and then sweep it out and then lay on something under there, because we're gonna have to move that jack up under the pan a little bit to, you know, get it out of the way of where we're gonna have to put the mount. I have to also get the actual bottom mount of for this section right here on the actual cross member. And I was actually looking at this other side. I got these 3 bigger washers, and these gaps look about the same. So let me get you up in here. These, I don't know if you can see that, but you can't really, those kind of fill the gap. Kind of looks like, honestly, maybe 1 more or 2 more, but I think it's going to be 1 more of these, whatever style washer this is, and that'll actually take it up pretty good, at least better than it is. So I'm going to maybe go see if I can find a spacer like this, because my plan is to obviously slide that bolt out and then just hold this with a magnet so I can slide it in there and then slide the bolt through it, because there's no way you're holding, I mean, it's possible, but I'm also thinking about stuff for the future. You know, you just don't want to be running into all these little stupid things that you did to save time or money, because that'll just hold you up even more. So I'm done for today. I'm going to take these washers with me and clean up here and head to the house, and I will be back later on. New day, y'all. Back here, a little bit nicer today. Still in the 30s though. So today we're gonna probably tackle maybe trying to get under this thing and getting the cross member in. I haven't decided yet. But I ended up finding a solution for that space in between those bolts there. So yeah, I see that space in between the bolt and like the mount. I ended up finding these. This is a steel spacer, or like, I don't know, it's got a set screw in it and stuff. But this seems to be pretty good as far as going in there and taking up the space. I already installed this one over here. And check that out. Takes up a good amount of space, so I'm gonna feel a lot more better with that in there. So I'm gonna slide this side out and pop this one in. I gotta undo that. Maybe I tighten the bolt over there first, I'm guessing, and then bring that chain over to this side, do the same thing over here. So I'll catch you here soon. Buy a good chain once, and then you don't have to buy another one. This thing's on its suspension, huh? Feels a little bouncy. Ugh, remember that hood. Do these clear? I can't remember. Actually, it's not that I can't remember. I don't know. We'll see. That's a future problem.
Man, I was trying to sneak up.
I seen your feet. What's up?
What's going on? Top down on the corners waiting for you.
Yeah. Waiting for me to pull out?
Pull out or something. I was being waiting for me. Looks great, man.
Yeah.
You leaving that in manifold on?
Yeah, for now.
Right?
Yeah. If you've never changed motor mounts on one of these, it's a pain in the ass. Because it's like they're up behind the...
Were they rubber? You put solid...
No, I put rubbers in there. Those are what was in it. Because I wasn't dealing with it right now.
Right, yeah.
And when they break, I'll deal with it, you know?
Yeah, I remember the old school guys, because they didn't have nothing like that back in the day. The rubber, mine would break all the time.
Yeah.
And then you could... Fucking, the fan would hit the shroud and shit. And they would take 3 or 4 links, put a bolt here, and put a, so, you know, on the torque side.
Right. But
Which it was an old school trick.
Yeah, to let it not move.
Yeah, because it would hold it still,
right.
you know? Let me get in there and talk to you.
Alright.
You coming in? Or?
Yeah, I'll probably be in there in a bit.
I'll be here for about a half an hour.
Yeah, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do.
Good job, man.
Thanks. Jesus, well, I've been under here fighting this dipstick. Actually, broke it in 2 somehow. Strength, man, strength of men. So I just jacked this guy up to try to get a better grip at it. Just bent over in there, so I'm gonna fight and try to get this thing out of there. Oh my god, dude. Where did that piece go? Here it is. Dude, what was holding that in? Jeez, oh man. You got it out though. Frick. That thing put up a fight. What time is it? God, I fought that thing for like 40 minutes. That's ridiculous. Really should have pulled that out on the ground. You live and you learn, people. You live and you learn. All right. I'm going to grab our cross member and see if we could slide it up in there. We don't have the mount yet on the actual trans piece. I gotta order one of those. Ooh. I threw that right into the bag of tranny fluid. That was great. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so this thing's not even gonna be resting on here until we get a mount in there. So, realistically, no point in putting this guy up yet until we get the mount. Ow. Alright, y'all, so we're going to end it there. Unfortunately, there's no point in putting that in unless we actually have that trans mount that goes on the actual tail shaft of the transmission. But we got a lot of progress done here in the past 3 days. Really got my butt kicked on Sunday. Sorry if the footage is a little choppy there. It was cold out, my batteries died, I had to get it done. But we got her in there, bolted in there and stuff. You know, looking at it, the trans isn't in the place where it's mounted yet, so I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions, but to be honest, it does not look like we have a lot of room for a dipstick against that firewall. So we're gonna have to try to figure something out there. Maybe go with like a low car one or something like that that's bendable or whatever, because like I said, it does not look like there's a lot of room. So we're gonna have to figure something out there. We'll put a hole in the floor and bring it up inside if we have to. So, like I said, a lot of progress. I think what I'm gonna do right now is, that intake's not bolted down all the way, but we're gonna see if the hood comes to anywhere even close to closing. I don't know how it's gonna do with these shocks in the way here. We'll see. go all the way down because the shocks are in the way. Oh yeah, no, we're already hitting the intake. Huh. What do you do about that? Well, it's a port thing up on the top there. Huh. You don't know. We'll have to do some research on that. But for now, we're going to let it be. If anything, we'll pull the hood off for now because I'm not dealing with that. Yeah, just not dealing with it. I could probably put these hood struts back on. That'll be a future Rudy problem. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave a comment if you want to see something or what you liked, what you think I should do with the thing. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want, and take it easy.